आजादी की कभी शाम ना होने देंगे, शहीदों की कुर्बानी बदनाम ना होने देंगे। बची हो जो एक बूंद भी लहू की, तब तक भारत माँ की आंचल आंचल को नीलाम ना होने देंगे। गुड मॉर्निंग, I Nikunj Wadhwa, along with my friends Arya Karya, Sarthaka Patro, and Aditya Chauhan, will take you all through the special assembly on the occasion of Independence Day.
Today, we must remind ourselves that we have to step forward from the old ways and embrace the future with fortitude and courage. Let us start with a heartfelt prayer to God, invoking His blessings and thanking Him for making us citizens of this great country and keeping us protected in these uncertain times. Let us join our hands, close our eyes, and open our hearts in grateful prayer.
ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
टीम जंग का वस्त्र नहीं, ये ध्वज देश की शान है, हर भारतीय का स्वाभिमान है। यही है गंगा, यही हिमालय, यही हिंद की जान है। तीन रंगों में रंगा हुआ यह अपना हिंदुस्तान है। The Indian tricolor is a true symbol of India. Our principal ma'am will now hoist the national flag, which will be followed by the national anthem. I request you all to stand as we pay tribute to the tricolor and sing our national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Good morning, dear parents, teachers, and my dear children. I congratulate you for being able to celebrate India's Day of Independence together, even though it is through this virtual platform. The transformation that the world has gone through has been extraordinary. And while all of us continue to go through various hardships and challenges with disruptions in our daily life, still they cannot come anywhere near to what our countrymen went through during the colonial rule. With rampant disregard of basic human rights, natives of our land were subjected to ruthless austerities. Most painful was the fact that many of our fellow countrymen sided with oppressors for their own selfish short-term gains. Today, they are all lost in the pages of history as traitors. But there were countless ordinary people who willingly laid down their lives fighting for independence, for the right to live with dignity and freedom. They shine in the pages of history as martyrs. How do we repay our debt of gratitude that we owe them? By valuing the freedom that we have got. I feel the virtue of valuing what we have, taking pride in our culture, our roots, is of utmost importance. These values give us our identity. They shape us into who we are and who we become. This great land of India has given us our identity as Indians. What does my identity say of me and what I stand for? Am I a kind of person whose strength of character is a source of joy and inspiration for others? It's time we dig deep within and see how deep our roots are. For centuries, the peepal tree, Peepal ka ped, or its cousin, banyan tree, is revered and worshipped in our country. Ever wondered about the secret of it being having a luxuriant long life? It's the deep roots that penetrate the earth and hold the tree up so that it stands majestically, giving comfort to everyone around. Dear children, let us also strive to dig our roots deep in the soil of our culture, our family, our school, that together shape us into people of character and intellect. Shine so much with warmth, care, respect, and regard that others can come up and ask you, what is the source of your positivity and strength of character? And that time, you can all say with pride, it is the environment that I have been nurtured in that has shaped me to who I am. Also remember, environment has a complex composition. It has pollutants that can harm you or fill you with negativity. Beware of such manipulators and develop the inner strength to infuse the environment with your righteousness. It is said that the future exists in the hearts and minds of the young. If we look closely, we find that it is the power of imagination that shapes the course of a life. In the words of a contemporary philosopher, the power of imagination is the bridge across which our ideals travel to become new realities. Everything changes. The question is, do we change for better or for worse? The scale of our empathy is the scale of our humanity. If our hearts are filled with hatred and despair, that is the world we will create. But if our hearts are filled with hope and compassion, we can without fail create a better, more peaceful world where everyone coexists in harmony. What we choose to imagine becomes our reality. Dear all, what would you choose to imagine? Remember our freedom fighters who chose to imagine that they can create a better world. They were ready to undergo immediate hardships. Why? Because they knew that these hardships in the long run will reap countless benefits. The changes that have come in the way of our daily life, the way we study, the way we work, the way we communicate, might be causing us some difficulty. But these difficulties are short term. I urge you to keep the bigger picture in mind. Think of what you are filling in your heart and mind and answer yourself, will this act ultimately benefit me? Will it benefit the humanity? 10 years from now, will I regret what I did? Or will I be able to hold my head high, knowing that I walked the path of prudence, reason, and good common sense? Independence Day celebrations are incomplete without self-reflection, without learning from the lives of our freedom fighters and the choices they made. I would like to conclude with these lines. कोई तो सूद चुकाएं, कोई तो जिम्मा लें उस इनकलाब का जो आज तक उधार सा है. जय हिंद. So I think I will.
Thank you, Principal Ma'am, for those motivational words. Your words always fill us with a desire to do better. These words are sure to remain in our hearts for a very long time.
जब मुल्ला को मस्जिद में राम नजर आए, जब पंडित को मंदिर में रहमान नजर आए, सूरत ही बदल जाए इस दुनिया की अगर इंसान को इंसान में इंसान नजर आए. What do you say, Arya?
I'm in total agreement. India abounds with instances of brotherhood and fraternity. As we look around the globe, we can daily see how fortunate we are to have been born in this great country. Salam to our motherland for the love that we've got from her and the endless opportunities she gives to all of us. Salam, India.
वक्त में भी हम न खोए हौसला, मिलके साथ चलने का यूं कर ले फैसला कि हम जो चुने तो मिलता जोश है, बस तेरी ही खातिर जाए सरफरोश है. जीत का जश्न हम मनाएंगे, आसमां तिरंगा सजाना है, शान से सभी को बताएंगे, जीत लेंगे ये सारा जहां. झुके तेरे आगे सर, तेरी गोद मेरा घर है, तुझे सलाम इंडिया. झुके तेरे आगे सर, तेरी गोद मेरा घर है, तुझे सलाम इंडिया.
कोशिशों के वादे हो, मंजिल मिलेगी चाहे राहें हो खफा। अब से इरादे हो, कोशिशों के वादे हो, मंजिल मिलेगी चाहे राहें हो खफा। देश ये सिखाता है, हिम्मतें बढ़ाता है, तू घर से गिर के ना तू रुकना बेवजह। तेरा ये वतन कर कुछ भी जगह तू जो भी है इसे लुटा देगी, दिल को डरा के रब में फटेगा जोश जगह। अर्श की उड़ाने लगानी है, इन हवाओं का रुख बदलना आज है। देश ये इबादत हमारी है, ले तू ये आज सबको बता।
झुके तेरे आगे सर, तेरी गोद मेरा घर है, तुझे सलाम इंडिया। झुके तेरे आगे सर, तेरी गोद मेरा घर है, तुझे सलाम इंडिया। झुके तेरे आगे सर, तेरी गोद मेरा घर है, तुझे सलाम इंडिया। झुके तेरे आगे सर, तेरी गोद मेरा घर है, तुझे सलाम इंडिया।
Atma Buddha said, "We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. And with our thoughts, we make the world." Ishita and Prakriti are now here to present Rabindranath Tagore's immortal poem as a thought for the day.
Our thought today resonates with the aspirations of our founding fathers. Let us celebrate our Independence Day by remembering the immortal lines of Tagore. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls.
Where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit.
Where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ishita and Prakriti, for those beautiful words, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. Such powerful words. In 1947, we became a country from a colony. We learned to hold our heads high as Indians. Today, from our newsroom, we have something very interesting for you. News from the nation and across the world from 15th August 1947.
Good morning, everyone. Today is August 15, 1947, and we bring you the national news. The wheel has come full circle, and the British, who came to India to trade, are now once more only as traders. Constituent Assembly takes over. Mr. Nehru asked the members of Constituent Assembly to take pledge of loyalty to the new state. Mountbatten's appointment as Governor General endorsed. Colorful ceremony marks the birth of a new nation. Swearing-in ceremony was held at Viceregal Lodge. The Free India's national flag was hoisted at the top of the council tower. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru made his first speech in the Indian Parliament. Chinese, American, and Dutch diplomats were also present. Jai Hind!
Good morning, everyone. The international news from 15 August 1947. Headlines across the world proclaimed the end of British Raj in India and the birth of two new dominions. According to the Washington Post, India began a new chapter with celebration in Oriental pomp and splendor, marked by bloodshed, death, and terror in wide sections of the country. Irish Times said, the last stroke of midnight, booming from the dome of New Delhi's parliament buildings, set off the highest, noisiest, and most joyful celebrations ever experienced in the East. Jai Hind!
Good morning, everyone. The weather news on 15th August 1947. This year, Sindh province has remained dry with only short spells of rainfall in the southeastern part. It started raining on the evening of 14th August in Delhi, and by 9 pm, almost 5 lakh people had gathered on the Raisina hill of Delhi, while it was still raining. This morning of August 15, the sky is clear due to rain overnight, and Pandit Nehru and his cabinet took the oath of office. There is an air of liberation and enthusiasm, and as Panditji took the oath and hoisted the flag, all the Indians had tears in their eyes, but they were tears of happiness. Jai Hind.
That was so enlightening. The world rejoiced when India became free. All Indians came together as one, just as we have come together to celebrate Independence Day. We have with us our tiny fellow compares, Anvi Das and Kashi Sachdeva, from grade 2A and 2G. Happy Independence Day to both of you. It is so wonderful to have the stars of the junior wing with us. Welcome, dear Anvi and Kashvi.
Hello, Nikunj Bhaiya. Happy Independence Day. I know that we became free from British rulers this day. But Mummy says I am not free to do what I want. But isn't freedom all about doing whatever we want to?
She's right, Anvi. Although we are free, we cannot always do what we want. If everyone does what they want without thinking about others, then no one will be happy. We must not only think of ourselves. Everyone has the right to freedom.
Yes, my teacher says freedom means not being selfish. It means always thinking about others. How is that freedom? I want to do what makes me happy.
You know, Kashvi, it is only when we think about others that we can have the best for ourselves. We have to think as a nation, and only then can we become as great and free as we want to be.
Sarthak Bhaiya, I have understood what freedom means. It means that we are free to be the best we can be, but we have to let everyone else. Junior Wing has also prepared a presentation for Independence Day.
Yes, Anvi. Dear friends, let us watch with bated breath as our tiny patriots perform.
ये है दूरदर्शन और आप देख रहे हैं
ये देश है वीर जवानों का, बेलों का, मस्तानों का, इस देश का यारो, इस देश का यारो क्या कहना, ये देश है दुनिया का गहना। मेरा जूता है जापानी, ये पतलून इंग्लिस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी रूसी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी। मेरा जूता है जापानी, ये पतलून इंग्लिस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी रूसी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी।
हर करम अपना
आजा आजा जिंद शामी आने के तले, आजा जली वाले नीले आसमान के तले। जय हो चक दे हो चक दे इंडिया, चक दे हो चक दे इंडिया। वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम। सुजलाम सुफलाम मलयज शीतलाम सस्य श्यामला मातरम। वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम।
ये दुनिया एक दुल्हन,
ये दुनिया एक दुल्हन, दुल्हन के माथे की बिंदिया। ये मेरा इंडिया, ये मेरा इंडिया, I love my India, ये मेरा इंडिया। हम लोगों को समझ सको तो समझो दिल भर जानी, जितना भी तुम समझोगे उतनी होगी हैरानी। फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी। मेरा रंग दे मेरा रंग दे बसंती चोला माए रंग दे, मेरा रंग दे बसंती चोला माए रंग दे, मेरा रंग दे बसंती चोला रंग दे, रंग दे रंग दे बसंती चोला माए रंग दे। माँ तुझे सलाम, अम्मा तुझे सलाम। वंदे आओ बच्चों तुम्हें दिखाए झांकी हिंदुस्तान की, इस मिट्टी से तिलक करो ये धरती है बलिदान की। वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम।
देश रंगीला रंगीला देश मेरा रंगीला, देश रंगीला रंगीला देश मेरा रंगीला।
झंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा, विजय विश्व तिरंगा प्यारा। सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा। हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी, ये गुलसिता हमारा, हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा।
What a lovely presentation by our junior stars.
You know, Nikunj Bhaiya, our government has launched Gandagi Mukht Bharat campaign on August 8 this year. इसका मतलब है कि हम सबको मिलकर भारत को गंदगी से मुक्त करना चाहिए। Even our school is participating in it by making the children write essays and join the painting competitions organized by the government.
Yes, Anvi and Kashvi, this is a great initiative. We have also undertaken many activities in the senior wing. We all must work together to make our country beautiful and clean. Our school too has been doing wonderful things and reaching new heights. Here is Aditi with the school news.
A very good morning to everyone. This is Aditi Shekhawat with the GOENKA news. August is a month of patriotic fervor and immense celebrations, from Independence Day to Janamashtami. The Goenkan family too has been celebrating this wonderful month by organizing activities and events that help us all feel connected in these times. These events have helped all of us feel the joy of togetherness despite not being able to meet each other physically. Let's take a look at some school events and achievements over this past month. The junior wing celebrated this Janmashtami with great enthusiasm and cheerfulness, and the pictures taken are a testimony to this. Even in these times of confinement in our homes, the Goenkans haven't failed to add more feathers to the Goenkan cap. And to mention the achievements of these students are: firstly, the Tech Smart E Coliseum 2020 at DAV School, Sector 49, Gurgaon. 25 students, under the guidance of all our IT teachers, earned two first places, namely in Stark and Ritage, a second prize in Ready Player One, and a first place and a special mention in Framed. In February 2020, a movie making competition called the Make Cinema 2020 Awards was held at the International Children's Film Festival. 28 of our students made their own movies with the guidance from our IT department. Sanyam Jain of 10th C won the Best Animation Award with the cash prize of $150. An informative webinar was conducted by Principal Ma'am and the senior wing in charges for the parents and students, focusing on the new education policy. They discussed the aims and objectives of this new policy and noted that Goenka has been embodying these principles of holistic education already in our curriculum, leading our students to become future ready. The future action plan for this session was also discussed. The school has taken a great initiative of helping the students with their portfolios for the future by having them make their own e-portfolios and conducting one-on-one discussions with their teacher mentors for developing a strong portfolio and for a better clarity about their future. The selection process for this year's student council has also begun, so we are also looking forward to the new council. With this, we come to the end of our school news. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi. It is said that art is the poetry of the soul. Often things that cannot be put into words can be expressed beautifully through art. We now present a medley of artworks that salute the spirit of India.
Freedom comes with responsibility. This drawing depicts a butterfly getting free from all the chaos that surrounds her.
The rope is fragile yet important. Freedom is just like rope.
Ignorance may be bliss, but when a person is not acting right, things fall apart.
The picture shows sufferance. It is important to go through what you go through.
When there's a will, there's a way. Even when you feel captive, if you wish to rise up, you shall.
Sometimes one wants to fly and enjoy its freedom.
Hard work plus dreams plus dedication result to success.
Self-realization is the best thing one can afford. It transforms one's personality.
And finally reaches the top by staying down to earth, becoming a true hero.
The greatest gift we can give to our children are roots of responsibility and wings of freedom.
These beautiful pictures were by our friends of 11C. Independence Day always fills me with the fervor of patriotism. Songs that sing about the sacrifice of martyrs and extol the motherland have a special place in our hearts. This song, by the melodious voices of the middle and senior wing students, resonates with national fervor.
मेरा कर्मा तू मेरा धर्मा तू तेरा सब कुछ मैं मेरा सब कुछ तू हर तरफ अपना करेंगे हर तरफ अपना करेंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों जरा आँख में भर लो पानी जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी ऐ मेरे वतन के लोगों जरा आँख में भर लो पानी जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी तुम भूल न जाओ उनको इसलिए सुनो ये कहानी जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू ऐ वतन मेरे वतन ऐ वतन मेरे वतन तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू ऐ वतन मेरे वतन ऐ वतन मेरे वतन
What a wonderful tribute to our nation. In 1947, Jawaharlal Nehru said in his famous speech that India had made a tryst with destiny and it was time for India to redeem its pledge. As India steps into its 74th year of nationhood, we must ponder if we have been true to that pledge taken by our founding fathers. Have we been able to fulfill it, if not wholly or in full measure, but at least substantially?
That is indeed a pertinent question, Aditya. Most of us have memorized our national pledge. I have too, but many of us just blindly repeat the words without thinking what the pledge actually means. You may also think, I'm so young, what can I do for my country? Well, even as children, we can help our country to become a great nation. We must utilize our freedom and make our choices responsibly and take the pledge of unity and doing our duty. So come, let us pledge to work towards a better tomorrow.
देश मेरे मेरी जान है तू देश मेरे मेरी जान है तू देश मेरे मेरी शान है तू देश मेरे मेरी शान है तू
Being the hope for healing and responsibility, I will never shirk from my duty. I stand for honesty and integrity.
Look before you lead, think before you speak. I will place service above self. These will be my mottos throughout my life. I stand for corruption-free India.
I will help to enforce all the rules. My duty is to contain the illness and cruels. I stand for patriotism and secularism.
I have the freedom, young and hopeful. I stand shoulder to shoulder while doing the duties and following the order. I stand for justice and equality.
I represent clean earth and green environment. Keeping the city clean and people safe is my responsibility. I stand for cleanliness and green earth.
Adhering to the rules is my testimony. I stand for peace and harmony.
I am novice. I'm just learning to express and to fly. But I know that freedom and responsibility go hand in hand. And I will never forget that really. I stand for self-expression and freedom.
I will never get tired of being an educator. I will teach to create new opportunities and be a real motivator. I stand for humanity and social cause.
We support our children. We are all together in this with our children. In our national flag of India, the top band is of saffron color, indicating the strength and courage of the country. And as a smaller unit of the country, as a school, we move forward with the strength of our authenticity and courage of our conviction in our belief system that we all carry. So I stand for strength and courage and move forward each day, spreading the message of peace and truth. That is the white middle band of a tricolor that indicates peace and truth, with the Dharma Chakra in the center. The chakra intends to show that there is life in movement and death in stagnation. As a model of mini India, as a school, we are unstoppable. Corona or no corona, we shall continue to take purposeful strides each day and add value to our children's lives. So I stand for strength and courage and move forward each day, spreading the message of peace and truth.
देश मेरे मेरी जान है तू देश मेरे मेरी जान है तू देश मेरे मेरी शान है तू देश मेरे मेरी शान है तू देश मेरे मेरी जान है तू देश मेरे मेरी जान है तू देश मेरे मेरी शान है तू देश मेरे मेरी शान है तू
देश मेरे मेरी शान है तू
I salute every Indian who's watching this program. We, the family members of GDGPS 48, take pride in being Indians. We salute the spirit of all our Goenkans who put this assembly together. All of us living in harmony, living together. We represent the third color in the tricolor, that is green, symbolizing harmony, symbolizing togetherness, symbolizing our love for each other. I know for sure each and every Goenkan of GDGPS Sector 48 family is going to step out and make a difference. Thank you, Goenkans, for living up to our expectations and going beyond it. We salute your spirit. We salute each one of you.
जी हाँ, जिस आजाद भारत का सपना शहीदों ने देखा था और जिस भारत का सपना हम देखते आए हैं, वो सपना हम सभी मिलकर जरूर पूरा करेंगे।
Yes, Aditya, we, the youth of our country, will bring the change for sure. कौम के खादिम की जागीर है वंदे मातरम, मुल्क के वास्ते एक सीर है वंदे मातरम। दुश्मनों ने कर दिया खामोश तो देखना, बोल उठेगी हमारी तस्वीर वंदे मातरम। Now we have the shining stars of the middle wing with a graceful dance performance filled with patriotic fervor.
वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां सस्य श्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमितद्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम्।
Wow, what a powerful performance! जो भरा नहीं है भावों से, बहती जिसमें रसधार नहीं, वह हृदय नहीं है पत्थर है जिसमें स्वदेश का प्यार नहीं।
ये बात हवाओं को बताए रखना, रोशनी होगी चिरागों को जलाए रखना, लहू देखकर जिसकी हिफाजत की सभी ने, ऐसे तिरंगे को सदा दिल में बसाए रखना।
Tricolor flies high and proud. Do not go away yet. The celebrations continue as we present to you something very special, filled with the passion of patriotism.
तेरी पितरी में दिल जावा खुद बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में लहरावा खुद के तो मैं बरखावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू।
भारत हमको जहाँ से प्यारा है, सबसे न्यारा गुलिस्तां हमारा है।
सदियों से भारत भूमि दुनिया की शान है, भारत माँ की रक्षा पे जीवन कुर्बान है।
भारत हमको जान से प्यारा है, सबसे न्यारा गुलिस्तां हमारा है। जय हिंद।
Freedom would mean a deep sense of responsibility towards the freedom that I have to live my life the way I want to, and in a manner that my life is able to benefit the life of others and not cause them pain and suffering. So yes, freedom for me is to live responsibly. Thank you.
सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, हम बुलबुले हैं इसके, ये गुलसिता हमारा। गुरबत में हो अगर हम, रहता है दिल वतन में, समझो वही हमें भी, दिल हो जहां हमारा। सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।